Do you ever feel utterly exhausted by life? It might not be because you're not good enough or not working hard enough. It might be precisely because you care too much. You care about people and things that don't deserve a single second of your attention. Everywhere online you're taught how to outcompete others, be more disciplined, and hustle for more. Exhausting, isn't it? Instead, let's talk about letting go, about how to not care. I know not caring can sound cold, even irresponsible. But trust me, what I'm sharing today isn't about turning you into a heartless person. It's about helping you build a strong core, stay emotionally steady, and invest your precious energy only where it truly matters. Only then can you lighten your load and free up focus for what's important. Many of us spin like a top every day without noticing how certain things act like invisible vampires, slowly draining your energy and stealing your joy. After this video, you won't just have an epiphany about why not caring is the only shortcut to happiness. You'll also learn a concrete set of inner practices that make you genuinely strong. And at the end, I'll share a simple mental switch I've practiced for a long time, something you can flip the instant you're caught in emotional friction to pull yourself up. So give yourself a little time. Let's free your mind and reclaim your happiness. Why do we care so much? We care about what others think of us. We care whether outcomes will match our wishes. We care whether a single sentence we said might have offended someone. The answer may surprise you. We mistakenly believe that caring itself gives us control, a very primitive, deeply rooted psychological illusion. In ancient times, humans had to stay constantly alert, caring about every rustle in the grass and the expressions of others in the tribe because survival depended on it. That caring was etched into our bones. But in modern life, this mechanism misfires. We no longer need to read faces to start life. Yet our brains still run the old operating system. We wrongly assume that if we care hard enough about something, say, an important interview, if we rehearse it 100 times in our heads and stew in anxiety, we somehow increase our chances of success. Psychology has a term for this: the illusion of control. The tendency to overestimate our influence on external events and to believe that certain behaviors, even purely mental ones like worrying, can control outcomes that are in fact uncontrollable. Think about it. When you're anxious about a result that hasn't happened yet, do you subconsciously treat your anxiety as a form of effort? When you're in pain over an uncertain relationship, do you believe your suffering proves the depth of your love, as if it could move the heavens and change the other person? In the pursuit of happiness, when Chris Gardner was at his lowest, sleeping in a public restroom with his son, lugging a heavy medical device as he tried to sell it, of course he cared whether he could make a sale and land that internship. But where did he put his caring? He didn't spend time complaining about why clients wouldn't buy, or worrying about getting evicted tomorrow, or guessing whether those suit-and-tie colleagues were mocking him behind his back. He converted all that caring into action. One more phone call, one more block on foot, solving a Rubik's Cube as fast as possible to impress the boss, pouring every hour into study and work. He cared about what he could control: his efforts, his learning, his persistence, and for what he couldn't control, other people's opinions, the market's temperature. Luck, he chose to care as little as possible. That's the right way to care. Real strength isn't fixating on what you can't control. It's investing 100% of your mental energy in the only thing you can control, your own thoughts and actions. So next time you're sinking into anxiety and worry, ask yourself, is this caring helping me take action to solve the problem? Or is it merely draining my emotions and letting me bathe in the illusion that I'm working on it? If it's the latter, gently tell yourself, stop. This is just an illusion. You're not solving the problem, you're using the feeling of caring to pretend you can control the outcome. The only thing you truly control is what you can do right now, in this moment. Let go of your fixation on results and your urge to control what others think, and you'll feel lighter almost instantly, because you've finally stepped out of the one-person play about control that you were performing for yourself. Once we wake up a little from the illusion of control, we immediately fall into a second and even more common trap: How do others see me? Sociologist Charles Cooley proposed a famous theory called the looking glass self. It says that our self-understanding largely doesn't come from ourselves, but from how we imagine others see us, like looking into a mirror. We come to know ourselves in 3 steps. We imagine our image in others' eyes. E.g., I think my co-workers see me as capable. We imagine their evaluation of that image. E.g., I think they appreciate me because I'm capable. And based on this imagined evaluation, we generate a self-feeling. E.g., so I feel proud and satisfied. See the problem? The whole process is built on imagination. We live inside others' gaze and use it to define our value. You post a carefully edited photo on social media. What do you do next? Do you keep refreshing to see how many likes you got? Who commented? Who didn't? Every like feels like yes, I'm accepted, while prolonged silence makes you wonder, is the photo not good? Do people no longer like me? Is your worth really determined by the number of likes on a photo? Of course not, yet we willingly hand over the right to define ourselves to other people. Here lies the core pain of caring about others' opinions. You're not actually caring about them, you're caring about the you in their imagined eyes. What you fear isn't other people themselves, but that the mirror might reflect a you who is flawed, imperfect, unapproved. Jean-Paul Sartre wrote the famous line, "How is other people?" in his play No Exit. Its deeper meaning isn't that others are inherently bad. It's that when we live entirely under others' gaze and judgment, we lock ourselves in a hell of our own making. In that hell, you can never be yourself. Every move is made to please the guard, the imagined eyes of others. I have a friend who used to be the classic nice guy. He cared intensely about everyone's feelings. When co-workers asked him to take on extra tasks, he agreed even if it meant working late into the night, because he feared being seen as unhelpful. At gatherings, he was always the driver and the one who picked up the tab, because he feared being seen as stingy. The result? He became the most exhausted and least happy person. His self-worth rested entirely on others thinking I'm good, until one day, ill and worn down, he refused a co-worker's unreasonable request and the co-worker instantly turned on him, bad-mouthing him behind his back. In that moment he woke up. The perfect image he had tried so hard to maintain was terribly fragile. People didn't truly respect him for pleasing them. They took advantage of his blurry boundaries. From that day on, he began to practice not caring, not becoming selfish, but reclaiming the right to evaluate himself. He started asking, do I think this is right? Do I want to do it? It was hard, like a dancer long chained at the ankles, suddenly trying to move without shackles. But slowly he found that when he stopped staring at that mirror all the time, he could finally see the road beneath his own feet. He had more time and energy to improve his craft, be with his family, and do what he genuinely loved. His life shifted from a performance for others to a journey for himself. So examine yourself. Do you do this too? That other might be your parents, your partner, your boss, or even anonymous strangers online. Are you letting others' feedback decide your joy and sorrow each day? If so, try just for a moment to take your gaze back from them. You'll find the sky doesn't fall, the earth keeps turning, and you may, perhaps for the first time, see yourself clearly. If we treat a person's experiences as their wealth, then mental energy, your emotional and psychological energy, is your core, most valuable assets. It matters more than time or money, because it determines how you use your time and money, and that's the quality of your life. That's why mental energy has become such a hot topic lately. Now let's examine your caring through an economics lens and see what kind of expenditure it really is. Imagine that when you wake up each morning, your mental energy account is credited with 100 units. Those 100 units have to power your day's work, study, life, and relationships. And then you start spending. You hit traffic and get irritated, caring about why is the road so bad? Why are there always inconsiderate drivers? Spend units. At the office you discover a co-worker didn't deliver a promised file. You get angry, caring about why is he so unreliable. He is delaying my progress. Spend 10 units. You check your phone, see upsetting news, grow indignant, and argue in the comments, caring about how can such injustice exist. Spend 2 units. At lunch you agonize for half an hour, caring about what's healthier. Will this make me gain weight? Spend 2 units. In the afternoon your boss walks by. You 10 sharp, caring about does he think I am slacking? Is he satisfied with my ration one? Spend 10 units. The day isn't even over, and you've already spent 45 units. What return did those expenses bring you? Did the traffic clear? No. Did the unreliable coworker become reliable? No. Did the injustice in the news vanish? No. Did you change your boss's mind? Also no. All that caring was emotional expenditure, in other words, ineffective internal friction. You've burnt your most precious asset with no positive yield. And in exchange, you've collected a pile of negative emotions: anger, anxiety, helplessness. When it's time to tackle a hard problem at work, have a deep conversation with family, or learn a new skill, you open the account and see insufficient funds. You redrained, and you just want to lie down and scroll short videos to numb yourself. That's why so many people feel, I did nothing, yet I am exhausted. Your mental energy has been quietly hollowed out by all that pointless caring. Learning not to care is learning to manage your capital, the capital inside you. Spend each unit where it generates high returns. What counts as a high return investment? Growth zone. Spend energy learning new knowledge, practicing new skills, and taking on challenging tasks that make you better. This appreciates your value. Health zone. Spend energy eating well, exercising consistently, and sleeping enough. This underpins everything else. Relationship zone. Spend energy on high-quality communication with those you love and who love you. This is the wellspring of happiness. Experience zone. Spend energy savoring the present, truly tasting a cup of coffee, watching a sunset, listening to a piece of music that moves you. This nourishes you. Remember, your mental energy is your most precious possession. Stop wholesaling it cheaply to people and things that devalue you. To learn not to care is to guard your wealth and invest it precisely in your own life. We've already talked about the illusion of control, our dependence on others' opinions, and the squandering of mental energy. Now we need to touch a deeper, more hidden source of pain, the fourth thing we often care about, the ever-present should we've internalized. The psychologist Karen Horney proposed a concept called the tyranny of the shoulds. She argued that the core of neurosis is being driven by an idealized, unrealistic ideal self, one composed of a long list of harsh I shoulds. Listen to how familiar these sound. At my age I should be married with children. As a man I should be successful, with a car and a house. As a good daughter I should obey my parents and choose the stable job they want. I should always be positive, no negative emotions allowed. I should be doing better than my classmates, co-workers and friends. Life doesn't come with that many shoulds, and yet they blanket us. They come from social convention, cultural tradition, family expectations, and the success templates we compare ourselves against. We care about these shoulds because we mistake them for the standard answers and the only track for a life. The moment our real life drifts from that track, we feel intense anxiety, shame, and self-doubt. We conclude something is wrong with us, that we are failures. But have you ever asked, who has the right to lay out the track for your life? In the recent hit drama My Altai, the heroine Li Wangshu's mother, Zhang Fengshe, is a living example of someone who broke free from the shackles of should. In traditional eyes, as a widow she should have stayed home or found a man to rely on, but she didn't. She chose to run a small shop on the vast Altai steppe and live freely. She never lectured her daughter with you should, but showed by example what useful means. I gave birth to you so you could serve others. Look at the trees and grass on this steppe. If someone eats them or uses them, they're called useful, and if no one uses them, it's also fine for them to just be here on the grassland, free and easy. That line is a powerful rebuttal to the tyranny of the shoulds. It tells us that a life has meaning by virtue of existing. Its value need not be measured by social function or conformity to some standard. Our obsession with should is, at root, an obsession with becoming as standardized by being smoothly accepted and recognized by the great machine of society. We fear becoming the odd one, abandoned or marginalized. But at what cost? The cost is abandoning the possibility of becoming yourself. You trim your feet to fit the shoe, cramming yourself into footwear that seems right but leaves you bloated, and then tell yourself, everyone walks this way, so I should too. Learning not to care means having the courage to question and break these shoulds. This doesn't mean picking a fight with the world or being contrarian for its own sake. It means that whenever I thought of I should do exercises, you pause and gently ask, do I truly want this? Or do I only think I'm supposed to want it? If I don't do it, what's the worst that could happen, and can I bear that? If I set aside every should, what does my heart actually long for? This process is like disenchanting your life, stripping away those seemingly sacred, untouchable standards and halos imposed by society and others, to see what remains at the core, the plain, original you, and what you truly want. You may discover you don't have to get married. You long for a genuine intimate relationship, which can take many forms. You may discover you don't have to be conventionally successful. You long to create value in a field and feel a sense of achievement which need not be measured by money or status. You may discover you don't have to be positive forever. You ought to allow yourself the full range of emotions, because they are all part of your life. When you stop caring about the shoulds the outside world imposes on you, your life finally shifts from a preset, crowded track to a vast open plain full of possibility. You can run, stroll, stop to take in the view, even lie down and roll in the grass. Because on this plain there is no standard answer, the only direction is the one your heart points to. When it comes to not caring, there's one area that's a major disaster zone and most easily misunderstood: intimate relationships. Many people equate the degree of caring with the intensity of love. I care so much about you because I love you. If I didn't care, why would I bother so much? Sound familiar? In parent-child and romantic relationships, we often see overcaring in the name of love. It shows up as a strong need to control, intrusive interference, and taking excessive responsibility for the other person's emotions. A mother constantly cares about her child's grades, whether they're dressed warmly, what kind of friends they're making. She believes this is maternal love. Yet it may make the child feel smothered and rob them of space to grow independently. Your partner constantly cares about the other's whereabouts, who they're chatting with, whether they reply instantly. He believes this stems from deep love and insecurity. Yet it may make the other feel monitored and mistrusted, ultimately damaging the foundation of the relationship. This overcaring in the name of love is not love at its core, it is fear. Fear of losing control. The mother fears her child's life will veer off the safe track, she says. Fear of abandonment. The partner fears being left and losing the relationship. What they truly care about is not the person themselves, but a role, a compliant child, or a forever mine partner. They try to use caring as a way to control the other in order to soothe their own fear. So what does real love look like? As Eric Fromm writes in The Art of Loving, mature love is union under the condition of preserving one's integrity, one's individuality. There are two key phrases here: preserving wholeness and independence, and becoming one. Genuine love is two independent souls choosing to draw near and illumine each other without trying to swallow or remake the other. I love you, therefore I want you to become yourself, not the person I wish you were. This calls for a higher form of not caring. Not caring whether you always meet my expectations. I love you, so I accept your imperfections and our differences. I won't feel angry or disappointed just because you don't follow my script. Not caring whether this relationship must last forever. I love you, so I cherish every moment we share and work to nurture it. But I don't force an outcome. I give you the freedom to leave. and give myself the courage to turn away if needed, not caring whether your emotions are entirely my responsibility. I love you, so I care about your feelings and will support you. But I know you are an independent person responsible for your own emotions just as I am for mine. I won't blame myself for all your unhappiness, nor pin all my happiness on you. This may sound difficult, even a bit cold, yet it is precisely the cornerstone of healthy, sustainable love. Think about the relationships in which you feel most at ease and date the ones where you can be fully yourself. You don't need to perform or placate. You're not afraid of saying the wrong thing or exposing your vulnerability, because you know the other cares about you, the person, not your performance. Learning not to care is how we learn to love better. When you stop using caring as a tool to control the other or fill your inner void, you can finally see the other person as a living, independent human being with strengths and flaws, light and shadow, and you choose to love the whole of them. This is love that is sincere, powerful, and free. It is companionship, not bondage, permission, not demand, fulfillment, not possession. So from now on, examine the important relationships in your life. Are you using over-caring to bind the other, or the right kind of not caring to complete them and free yourself? Remember, shackles in the name of love are shackles all the same. However ornate, real love always leads to freedom. By now, we've mapped the major traps of caring. So let's arrive at the most crucial core step, the sixth question. What is genuine not caring? And how do we practice it? First, clear the biggest misunderstanding. Not caring is not indifference, nor is it apathy or giving up. Indifference is a closed, passive withdrawal from life. The kind of not caring we mean is the opposite, a positive, lucid, and intentional choice. Remember our earlier point about mental energy. Because your mental energy is your most precious asset. A wise person never scatters it across everything, let alone spends it on what's meaningless. Not caring is precisely this process of filtering and deciding. It means withdrawing your limited, precious caring from places that drain and depreciate you, then concentrating it liberally on what truly matters and compounds your life. This is both wisdom and skill. How do you make that selective investment? Use a practical thinking model inspired by Stephen R. Covey's The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, the circles of control, influence, and concern. Picture 3 concentric circles. Circle of control innermost, what you can fully govern your thoughts, attitudes, choices, what time you get up, whether you exercise, what you study, the words you speak. Circle of influence middle, what you can't fully control but can influence your relationships with family, your performance at work, team climate, some of your child's habits. Circle of concern outermost, what you can hardly control or influence, weather, traffic, the news cycle, other people's opinions, your family of origin, and anything already in the past. A person's level of suffering largely depends on where they invest most of their caring. The suffering, put 90% of their caring in the circle of concern. They gripe about the weather, social unfairness, their upbringing. They fixate on others' opinions and ruminate over unchangeable mistakes. Their energy evaporates in the arena where they're most powerless, so they feel helpless, anxious, and angry. The ordinary put most of their caring in the circle of influence. They work hard, tend relationships, and try to change people and circumstances around them. This yields some results, but also frequent frustration and fatigue when efforts don't land. The truly happy and strong put 90% of their caring in the circle of control. They pull focus from the outer world back to the inner one, knowing the only thing they can control 100% is themselves. So they care intensely about whether each thought is constructive, whether each choice aligns with their deepest values, whether each hope deal and helps them become who they want to be. Their physical health, the quality of their family bonds, the growth of their knowledge and skills. For the circle of influence, they do their best but don't force outcomes. They communicate sincerely, If the other side doesn't accept it, they respect that choice. They work diligently. If a project fails, they review what they can improve rather than marinate in defeat. And for the circle of concern, they practice maximum not caring. They know that pouring emotion into this zone is pure waste. This is the ultimate essence of not caring. It is not abandonment, it is focus. It is not apathy toward the world, it's the fiercest passion and responsibility for your own life. It is deep self-knowledge and the highest respect for your life's energy. As we come to the end, I hope what you've gained today isn't a handful of feel-good, but hollow motivational, but an operating system that can reshape your thinking and give you real inner strength. Learning not to care doesn't happen overnight. It's a practice one you'll need to train and notice deliberately every day from here on. The next time you toss and turn over someone's glance or comment, remember the trap of the social gaze and take back the right to define yourself. The next time you blow up and drain yourself over something you can't control, remember mental energy economics and ask whether that expenditure is worth it. The next time you're kidnapped by the thought that my age I should be, remember the open plane of life and tell yourself your life has no standard answer. And the next time you're tempted to control someone you care about in the name of love, remember that real love is fulfillment and freedom. Finally, when you feel lost and sure what to care about and what to release, think of the three concentric circles: the circle of control, the circle of influence, and the circle of concern. Then, without hesitation, invest your most precious caring entirely in the only circle you truly command, the circle of control. This is the mental switch I mentioned at the start, the one that can flip your state in an instant. Whenever and wherever you're caught in a friction, ask, is this within my circle of control? That question is like a key that can instantly unlock your emotional cage. Life is a long voyage. We cannot control the wind, nor can we foresee the storms. The only thing we can do is calibrate our own compass and hold our own helm. As the Roman Stoic Epictetus said, were that make a perfect coda to everything today. We step onto a stage not of our choosing and perform a script not of our writing. We cannot choose our birth or our looks, nor can we choose the people we'll meet or the events we'll face. But we can always choose the mindset with which we perform our part in this play. That's it for today's video. May you learn the wisdom of not caring. Let go of needless dread, and devote all your passion and focus to yourself, this unique, irreplaceable performance. Thanks for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe, and may you be happy and free.